Hey guys, Joe here. It's late at night, as you can see, just getting back from work. But I also thought I'd show you how my setup looks now. Is it another office tour? Kind of. Not really. I've made a few decisions and I thought I'd show you what those are going to be. So bear with me. I'm going to flip the camera around. Technically, I'm just going to take it off selfie mode and put it on regular mode. And I will show you how I have it set up. So this here is basically the main game station, and I'm sorry if you're hearing my fan going. I don't really have a choice, it's too damn hot. But as you can see, I've got a Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 2, Sega Saturn, GameCube, and a couple various games laying around. They all connect up to that TV with regular AV cables, so that TV actually puts out a pretty good display for stuff like the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64. I got a story to go with that, and I'll tell you that as soon as we're done. Moving on, that's boxes and a camera stand. I've decided to dedicate this shelf to Sony stuff, except for the top shelf. This top shelf is my not for resales and all my sealed stuff. So my not for resale like Sega stuff. It is organized by system. So starting over here, you got Xbox going into Sega, going into a couple Nintendo games. Then you got PlayStation stuff and then computer stuff at the end. So a little bit of an eclectic mix. Moving down here, this whole stack and two stacks behind it, because PSPs are pretty thin, you can actually get a couple of stacks. So all that are my PSPs that I currently have that are in cases. Obviously, I have a bunch that are in a Sniper Elite game box because I've got a bunch of extras. It's actually back there. This is my PS1 stuff, stacked up again. PS3 and PS4 stuff. And then these are all PS2 games, and there's 45 in each. 45, I believe, in each stack, or 50. And I mean, that's front and back, so 50, 100, 150, 155 games, something like that, sitting right there. This is obviously a mess because I'm trying to figure things out. I have more monitors than I know what to do with right now. That is another big pile of a mess. And more of a pile of a mess. As you can see, I got various games from different systems. I'm sorting them out more. This is the Nintendo box. This is Nintendo as well, mostly GameCube. And I'll show you the desk. Okay, this is a cheap little HP 23-inch monitor, I think it is, that I picked up at a hospice thrift store. It's the one I told you about before, the one that I like buying from because they actually donate all the proceeds. $15, and it's got a really good picture, full HD. I broke out the old Dell computer. Hi, people. Because I needed to have that computer basically just for internet for that 360, because my hard drive blew up. I had a 320 gig in here. Something went wrong with the hard drive and it fried it. So yeah, I lost all my data. Wanted to show you this Super Nintendo. As you can see, it's actually pretty damn clean, really nice coloring to it. Doors are all in good shape. I got it for 10 bucks. I know. Hold on a second. Let me turn the camera around, then I can tell you exactly how that happened. Okay, how did I get it for 10 bucks? I will tell you. I went to my buddy's pawn shop, and in one of his display cases, he had a bunch of Nintendo DS and 3DS games. And normally he asks $5 a piece, but normally it's just the cheap games that are worth $1 or $2 a piece. But somebody must have sold him a bunch of games, and he had just gotten around to putting them out, and they were of the Mario variety. Mario 3D Land, Mario, New Super Mario Bros. 1, New Super Mario Bros. 2, pretty much all the Mario stuff, right? So for $5 a piece, I bought 8 of them. That was $40, okay? Keep in mind, I knew buying them that I could just flip them at GameStop, make all my money back, and probably get an extra 15 to 20 bucks, if not more. Now, again, I'm not a reseller. I'm not a guy that goes out just with the intent to buy this game and flip it and make maximum money. Do I realize how much those games were worth? Absolutely. I do know for 100% fact that I could sell new Super Mario Bros., especially since I have an empty case for it, for $20 by itself. New Super Mario Bros. 2, $20 by itself. Let's see, there was a Pokemon in there. Could have sold that for $40 by itself. But that's not what I'm in this for. I'm in this because I want to buy stuff, collect stuff, get things as close to free as possible, which we've discussed on many an occasion. So, I took all those games, and I took them to my buddy in West Virginia who has a retro game store. I didn't intend to sell them to him. I was really going to sell them to GameStop because I could flip my money and double it, no problem. But he and I are standing around talking, and he sold me a couple of things. Sold me a DS that had a good case, but the motherboard is bad in it, so I was going to use that to fix my other DSs. And then he also sold me a DSi. It powers on, but it freezes on the start screen, as well as it also has bad screens and all that stuff. So I was going to clean it up really good, take it apart, see if I could get it to work. I'm pretty sure it was in a fire, because I don't know how well you can see that, but do you see how bad it's burnt? Yeah, so, but he sold me that, and a DS Lite, a red one, for $10. And that was all he had, pardon me. That was all he had. And he and I were sitting there talking for a few minutes, and I'm like, well, do you have anything else? Because I've got this bag of crack. I noticed his DS case didn't have some of these games, and I was like, I got a little baggie of crack here. So I put it up on the counter, and he's looking through them. He's like, oh, well, do you want to sell them? I said, sure, because I didn't lie to the guy. He knows that I work for GameStop, so it's not like I was hiding it. And I said, well, I can take them to work, and I get, my employee whatever, plus all this stuff. I can sell all this stuff and probably get $90 for everything. He's like, well, would you take $90? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Remember, I had $40 in all this stuff. Technically 50 if you count the DSs. So, he said, what do you want for a trade? And I said, tell you what, give me a Super Nintendo, some cash, the DSs, and we'll call it a day. And he did. So basically, I got the Super Nintendo for basically $20. But I took the DS Lite that I got from him, which had a broken power switch, so I wound up changing the motherboard. I took that, put a new motherboard in it from one I had laying around that had bad screens, and traded that in. Got $20 back for that. When you figure that I paid him $10 for 3 DSs, now I'm sorry to be getting all mathematically challenging with you, but basically I had $3 into a Nintendo DS Lite. I don't count the motherboard because that was paid for a long time ago in some of my other trades. So I got $20, which means I made $17 profit. I paid $20 for the Super Nintendo. You take my $17 profit that I made off of his merchandise, trading it in, I paid $3 for a Super Nintendo. In that good a shape. You saw it. It has no discoloration to it whatsoever. $3 is how much I own this Super Nintendo for. How can you be mad at that? You can't be mad at that, because that's basically all there is to it. I own it for $3, and I have a case for my original DS, and a DSi if I decide to monkey with it enough. And I probably will, because I can use the parts, fix 2 or 3 other DSis I have laying around, and these trade in for $25 a piece. So yeah, if I sell just one based off the parts in this, then I'll have made $22. But as it stands, I have 2 DSs, parts basically, but a perfectly good working Super Nintendo for $3. The point is, you have to keep your eyes open. You have to be willing to make these deals. You have to think outside the box. Again, I had no intentions when I walked into my buddy's pawn shop of buying those DS games. But because I did, I had a decent day. I wish I had filmed the games before I got rid of them, but I didn't intend to get rid of them. I wish I had filmed the games before I traded them to the other guy, but I had no intentions on trading them to him. I was just going to make a video and then sell them to GameStop or keep 1 or 2 of them, because I would have gotten all my money back, probably been able to keep half of them. But as it is, I will go back and see if he puts out any more DS games, and I have a Super Nintendo for $3. That's all I can say. I have a couple of things in the works. If I pick those up, I'll let you know about it. Otherwise, expect a car video on Friday, which will be tomorrow when you see this today, which is Thursday. So I will get that done, edited, and uploaded, and I will then talk to you later. So until then, leave me a comment if you like it if you comment, and subscribe if you just want to be a subscriber. I'm not a subscriber whore. I'm not going to beg you to subscribe to my channel. If you do, great. If you don't, I understand and I will live. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it because I just want to have a lot of people watching me be stupid. So if you want to be one of the people that regularly watches me be stupid or smart, depending on which way you call it, let me know. So I'll talk to you later, okay? I said okay? Fine, don't talk to me.